Hello gardening friends, welcome back to the garden. Right now the garden is beautiful, it is overgrown, it is in poor maintenance right now. I have not been coming out here. It's either been very hot or it's been raining. Those are the two different scenarios we got going on right now in Pennsylvania. There's a bunch of beautiful flowers in the garden. I am getting an abundance of tomatoes. I actually canned a set of spaghetti sauce the other day, and I also went to the farmer's market because if I'm going to go through the effort of canning spaghetti sauce, I wanted to make sure it was worth my effort, and I got a thing of second tomatoes there and ended up canning 18 jars of spaghetti sauce, so I'm happy to have that in the pantry. So I'm going to flip you around here so you can see just how beautiful the garden is. There are zinnias all over the place because I wanted to make sure I had flowers along with crop this year. I have not been keeping up with picking my calendula. Sorry, there's a dog running around wildly. I have not been keeping up with the calendula, and a lot of it's going to seed, but I'll just save those seeds and either replant it this year to get another wave of flowers, or I'll just keep the seeds for next year. As you can see, this cherry tomato plant just won't stop. It is probably 8 foot tall and just keeps on producing lots of beautiful fruit. We've only had one mix-up as to what I planted. I don't know if it was a seed mix-up because I do not have any tomatoes that are just plum reds. So this was either supposed to be a Roma or supposed to be a cherry tomato. But I've been getting just some plum-sized basic tomato plants, which is fine. They're yummy, they're tasty, just not what I intended to plant. These tomatoes right here are producing a lot. I have a basket inside full of tomatoes, and I see there's more to produce. When they're half green, half red, that's when they're ripe. These are the Evil Olive tomato, and I think they have really good flavor, and this plant is still very healthy. I have one plant showing lots of sign of stress. This is my Alpaca tomato plant, and the one right beside it, oh, I guess it's starting to show some stress too. Some yellowing of the leaves, some drying out, but it still has lots of fruit on it that I'm going to let get ripen on the vine. So I'm not sure what's up with this tomato plant right here. I cannot get it to vine up. It acts just like a big old bush. This is my Pink Fang, and it's a very light pink color, the tomatoes are. But they're really good for canning because it's a Roma type tomato. This is a butternut squash plant. I have two in the garden bed that are near ripe, and I saw this one last night, a nice size. And let's talk about pumpkin plants. So the pumpkin plant is not looking very healthy, but it has probably at least 10 pumpkins on the plant. These two over here, I think, are nearly ripe. They're all orange. So let's count pumpkins. 1, 2. As you can see, that pumpkin plant that was taking over the whole yard is not looking the happiest. It's getting a powdery mildew on the leaves, and it is just dying back. I have seen squash bugs, I have seen vine borers, so that is probably the reason it is not doing so well. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 is growing on the outside of the fence, 7. Okay, so it might not be 10 pumpkin plants, but 7 pumpkins on one pumpkin plant. They're sugar pie pumpkins, so they're gonna be yummy ones to eat, and I'm gonna can those up probably if I end up not leaving them on the shelf. So I have one empty garden bed back here that I want to amend the soil, and I think I'm going to plant carrots here because that's going to be a good fall crop. Here is a tomato plant that I neglected to stake, and it just grows like a bush then. These are the blueberry cream cherry tomatoes. These are my favorite compared to the red blueberry cream. I didn't think the loofah plant was going to take off, but it is getting big and bushy. So I'm hoping to at least get 1 or 2 loofah gourds off of this. I haven't really noticed any flowers on it, but here's hoping that we get at least a loofah or 2. I haven't really been sharing the side of the garden that has the greenhouse. So my husband built the door, and now my dad put it up. Over here, this bed has just been taken over by the nasturtium, which is just a beautiful plant. I didn't have many crops in here anyway. And as you can see, the calendula is going to seed as well. I've also neglected to water this part of the garden, so mostly what has watered it is the rain. And I did manage to get 1 nice filled pumpkin, which is really exciting. I have a few Paul Robesons in this garden. And I'm just going to take this one before it splits. I actually cleaned up the greenhouse a bit, so if I wanted to get some fall plants started, now it's nice and clean in here. The raspberry bush is getting ready to give us another wave of berries. See the fruit forming on the plant. Also, can we talk about how beautiful these zinnia flowers are? These are the candy cane variety, and they are my favorite flower. So this video might be a little disconjointed. I just happened to see the garden and really wanted to share what's going on in it, what produce we're getting from it, and just how it's growing, what it's doing. These are the Dr. Witchy's tomato, and as you can see, it's bigger than bigger than my hand actually. The only thing with this is one side is really ripening compared to the other, so I might have to pluck this and let it ripen inside and see if that helps it ripen more evenly. The zinnias are just in full bloom and they're looking gorgeous in the sunlight. I decided to let this Jack Doolittle pumpkin stay, and oh, I see there's a pumpkin hiding right here. So hoping to get a few of those for my daughter because she really likes the tiny pumpkins, and it's always fun when you can grow up for yourself. I didn't realize I put a tomato in my pocket, friends. This is your PSA to not put tomatoes in your pocket. I have crushed the little thing. Poor tomato. Well, that's all I have for you today, my gardening friends. I know this video was a little disconjointed. I just want to share what's going on in the garden. I know I'm not posting as frequently as I wanted to, but life's getting in the way, and life's more important than making videos. I'm kind of just making videos for myself and anyone who else wants to watch them. And by the way, thanks for watching this video. If you got to the end, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me in the future, go and subscribe. I want to do some things for the fall garden, and I also want to make a video of things I might want to do different future-wise, things I want to plant, things that are doing really well, and I think I want to keep pursuing those avenues. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Until next time, my gardening friends.